Now next is mobility. So what is mobility? Mobility is defined as the magnitude of drift velocity per unit electric field. Okay? Mobility is defined as the magnitude of drift velocity per unit electric field, or we can say that mobility of a charge carrier in a particular medium is drift velocity developed when electric field applied is unity, or a unit electric field is applied. Okay, so when we applied the unit electric field, so drift velocity is equal to its mobility. So with the help of this we can find out which material is suitable, because drift velocity for different material is different, and it depends upon medium also. So if electric field, we applied a unit electric field, so if drift velocity is more, so its mobility will be more. So, or in simple words, we can say that by applying a unit electric field, the speed or velocity by which the particle moves is called its mobility. Now next is your Ohm's law. Ohm's law already we have discussed little bit. We have studied in class 10th. So potential difference applied across a conductor is directly proportional to current flowing in it, provided all other physical conditions such as temperature, pressure remains constant. This is known as Ohm's law. So V is proportional to I, or I is proportional to V. So if V is proportional to I, then V is equal to Ri. R is the constant, that is equal to V upon I. So what is R? R is the resistance of the conductor. And unit of ohm is, sorry, unit of resistance is ohm, and it's represented by omega. Now proof of Ohm's law. So already this relation we have discussed, current and drift velocity. Relation between current and drift velocity. So I is equal to NEA VD. This is nothing. NEA VD. Now substitute the value of VD. VD is equal to E, charge of electron, electric field, upon tau, that is relaxation time, upon m. This already relation we have discussed. VD is equal to E capital electric field, tau upon m. Okay. Now next we have to substitute the value of E, electric field. So here it will be equal to NE square A E tau upon m. Now substitute the value of E. So E is equal to, we know that E is equal to dV upon dr. So V upon L. V upon L. L is the length of conductor. Because this relation already we know, E is equal to dV upon dr. So V is the potential difference and R is the distance or the length. So length of the conductor we have taken L. So E is equal to V upon L. Substitute it in place of E. Now see, I is equal to NE square A tau V upon L into M. So remember it, this is potential difference, not the velocity. Okay, and this is equation number 1. Now here we will see many constants are there. So now we analyze, we find many constants are here. E, charge in electron. So charge in electron is always constant. M is the mass of electron, that is also constant. Now E and M are constant of electrons. Now N is the electron density or number of electrons per unit volume. So this is constant for a particular conductor. Suppose if we have taken a conductor that is made up of steel or a aluminium, for steel N is constant, for aluminium N will be different. But for a particular conductor, n will be also constant. That is, electron density will also constant for a given conductor. Remains constant for given conductor. Now at constant temperature, if we have kept the temperature constant, tau is also constant. And this relation already we have discussed in the previous class or video, that tau depends upon temperature. Tau depends upon temperature. If temperature increases, tau decreases. Dependence of relaxation time or tau on temperature we have discussed already. So remember this always. If temperature increases, tau will decrease. So if temperature remains constant, if temperature is constant, so this tau will also remains constant. So for a particular temperature, tau is constant. Now A and L, area of cross section and length, are constant for a given sample. Given sample means for a given conductor, its length and area of cross sections are also constant. So I is proportional to V. Now look here. So N is constant. For a particular conductor, N will be also constant. E is constant, A is constant, tau is constant at constant temperature, M is constant, and L is also constant for a particular conductor. So I is proportional to V. All these things are constant. So I is proportional to V, or V is proportional to I. This is the proof of Ohm's law. Now again come to the equation number 1. So we have just proved I is proportional to V or V is proportional to I. Now if we write it V upon I, V upon I, and take all this quantity on the left hand side, it will be V upon I is equal to ml ne square tau A, and this total ml ne square tau A, this is equal to R. This constant is known as resistance. So already we have discussed V is proportional to I, or V is equal to I R. So what is R? R is equal to ml ne square tau A, mass of the electron, length of the conductor, electron density, number of electrons per unit volume, charge of the electron, charge on the electron, tau, relaxation time, and this is area of cross section. This is equal to R. So R is equal to m ne square tau L upon A. Okay. So resistance of the conductor, what are the factors on which resistance of the conductor depends? Now look here. Charge on the electron E is always constant, that is 1.6 into 10 raised power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, and mass is also constant. So E and M are always constant. These two quantities are always constant. So resistance depends upon electron density, relaxation time, length, and area of cross section. And this tau depends upon the temperature. This tau depends upon the temperature. Here we have written this tau depends upon the temperature. If tau is more, if tau is less, temperature will more. If temperature increases, relaxation time decreases. One we have already studied, this tau is equal to T1 plus T2 plus Tn upon n. Clear? So R depends upon length of the conductor, area of cross section, and electron density. Electron density will be different for different material. Electron N means electron density is different for different material or conductor. So it depends upon the nature of the material. Then it depends upon tau. Tau means it, and tau depends upon temperature. So it depends upon temperature. Resistance depends upon temperature, area of cross section, length, and nature of the material. So R is proportional to L, R is inversely proportional to A, R is proportional to temperature. If temperature increases, resistance will increase. That is, R is inversely proportional to tau, and R depends upon the nature of the material or nature of the substance. Okay, next is resistivity or specific resistance. So we know that R is proportional to L, R is inversely proportional to A. So R is proportional to L by A. That is R is equal to proportionality sign we will remove, that is R is equal to rho L by A. So if area of cross section is unit area and length of the conductor is unit length, then rho will be equal to R or R will be equal to rho. So we can say that resistivity is equal to the resistance of the conductor across two opposite faces which have area of cross section of unity and distance between them is also unit. Distance is also unit distance and area of cross section between the two opposite faces is also unit. Then the resistance offered will be equal to the resistivity. Resistivity is denoted by rho. An SI unit of resistivity, that is rho, is ohm meter. Now see from the equation 2, this is our equation 2. R is equal to M N E square tau into L upon A. If L is equal to 1 and A is equal to 1, then this M N E square tau, this is equal to rho. R is equal to rho L by A. So this is rho. This total quantity is known as the resistivity, M N E square tau. So resistivity depends upon N and tau, because M and E are constant, always constant. M and E are always constant, so resistivity depends upon N and tau depends upon temperature. So resistivity depends upon temperature, and electron density is different for different material, that is nature of the material. So resistivity depends upon only two factors, that is temperature and nature of the material. It does not depends upon L and A. Material and temperature. So if temperature is more, resistivity will be more. If temperature is less, resistivity will less. But does not depends upon L and A. Now next is conductance and conductivity. So first, what is conductance? So conductance of a substance is equal to the inverse of the resistance. Conductance is denoted by capital G is equal to 1 upon R. So you can remember like this: conductance, T and C is there, and resistance, T and C. So conductance and resistance are reciprocal of each other. Conductance, resistance. So what is the unit of conductance will be? Resistance unit is ohm. So it will be conductance unit is per ohm or ohm inverse, or we can write it mho, MHO, or Simon S. So you can use any of the one, either ohm raised to power minus 1 or per ohm, mho or Simon. Now next is conductivity. It is denoted by sigma. It is the reciprocal of resistivity. So here conductivity, and this is resistivity. So conductivity is defined as the reciprocal of its resistivity. Same definition you have to write. It is equal to the inverse of the resistivity. So sigma is equal to 1 upon rho. So conductivity, resistivity, Ti, Vi, Ty, Vt are reciprocal of each other. So its SI unit is ohm per ohm meter, or ohm raised to power minus 1, meter raised to power minus 1, or Simon per meter. This is the unit of conductivity. Now next is macroscopic or miniature form of Ohm's law. Microscopic or miniature form of Ohm's law. That is, we have to show J is equal to sigma E. This is known as the miniature or microscopic form of Ohm's law. J is equal to, so next is macroscopic or miniature form of Ohm's law or show that J is equal to sigma E. J is equal to sigma is known as the miniature forms of Ohm's law. So what is J? J is the current density, sigma is the conductivity, and E is the electric field. So current density at a place is equal to the product of conductivity and the electric field. Suppose again we have taken a conductor. Let the length of conductor is L, area of cross section is A, and electric field apply is E. Now from the Ohm's law we know that V is equal to IR, or I is equal to V upon R. We want here J and E. So J means current density. So current density is equal to, we know that current per unit area. J is equal to I upon A. So instead of I, we can write it J into A. So I is equal to J into A. So we have written instead of I, J into A. Now we want the electric field, because J is equal to sigma E. We want the electric field, and we know that E is equal to dV upon dr. So potential difference, let the potential difference is V and length of the conductor is L. So E is equal to V upon L. So we can write it instead of V, E into L. So instead of V we have written E into L. And what is R? R is equal to rho L by A. Already we have discussed resistance is equal to R is equal to rho L by A. So we have written instead of R rho L by A. L and L will cancel. So what is left? J is equal to E upon rho, and 1 upon rho is equal to sigma. So we have got it. This is only the miniature form of Ohm's law. J is equal to sigma into E. That current density is equal to conductivity into electric field. Sigma is the conductivity of the substance, and this is the microscopic or miniature forms of Ohm's law. So therefore current density at any point is equal to the product of the conductivity and the electric field. Now next is effect of temperature on resistivity or resistance. So will discuss the effect of what is the effect of temperature on the resistance or resistivity of different materials. So first we are going to take the metal conductor. What is the effect of resistance of a metal conductor by increasing or decreasing the temperature? The first one is metal conductor. So in metal conductor, when temperature increases, resistivity will increase. Clear? So remember it, in metal or conductor, when temperature increases, resistivity will increase. How resistivity will increase? What is the reason? We know that rho is equal to m n e square tau, and remember it always, tau depends on temperature. When temperature increases, tau will decrease. So here when temperature increases, tau will decrease. So when tau decreases, resistivity will increase. Okay, so by increasing the temperature, resistivity increases. So therefore by increasing the temperature, resistivity or resistance will increase. So we have written temperature, by increasing the temperature increases, resistivity increases or resistance increases. This is the reason. Now next is alloy. What is the effect of temperature on the resistance or resistivity of a alloy? Okay, so alloys show very small or negligible value of alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is thermal coefficient of resistivity. So we'll discuss now, after completing this, what is the thermal coefficient of resistivity? What is alpha? Only now remember it shows very small or negligible value of alpha. means resistance do not change or resistivity do not change with the temperature in increase in temperature in alloys. So due to this property, alloys are used as standard resistance in lab. So by increasing the temperature, what happens in the alloy? There is no change in its resistance. There is no change in its resistance. So remember it, by increasing the temperature, there is no change or negligible change in the resistance of the alloy. That's because of this property, alloys are used as a standard resistance in the lab. Now third is electrolyte. So what is the effect of temperature on the resistance of electrolyte? Okay, what is the effect of temperature on the resistance of electrolyte, that is liquid? So here remember it, when temperature increases, resistance decreases. When by increasing the temperature, resistance decreases. Why the resistance will decrease? Suppose for an example, if you take it, suppose if we are having honey. So in honey, it is difficult for the particles to move. If the particles are difficult to move, means resistance is very high. If we make that honey thin by adding something liquid, if we have made the honey very thin, patla kar diya honey ko, so the particle will easily move. When the particles are easily moved, means the resistance decreases. When the resistance decreases, particles will easily move. So when we heat the electrolyte, when we heat this electrolyte by increasing the temperature, many changes takes place. But the prominent change is that by heating the electrolyte, it becomes thin. It becomes thin means its density or specific gravity decreases. So what is the reason when temperature increases, why the resistance decreases? Reason is at higher temperature, when we increase the temperature, the density or specific gravity decreases. Its density or specific gravity decreases. Means our liquid becomes thin, patla ho gaya liquid. So far, anions and cations. It is easier to move when liquid becomes thin. So ions will move easily. If ions moves easily, means resistance decreases. So what we have to remember in electrolyte, when temperature increases, resistance decreases. Now why resistance decreases? We have understood from here the reason. Because it becomes thin. Thin means density and specific gravity decreases. So ions will easily move, means resistance decreases. So we have studied by increasing the temperature in the metal, its resistance will also increase, but in alloy, resistance, no change in its resistance, but in electrolyte, resistance will decrease. Now next is your semiconductor. So what is the effect of temperature on the resistance of a semiconductor? So semiconductor, one separate chapter is there in your class. So we will study detail afterwards. So only remember it, in semiconductor, when it is heated, semiconductors are heated, it behaves like a conductor. And when its temperature decreases, it behaves like a insulator. So semiconductor behaves as a conductor by increasing the temperature and behaves as an insulator by decreasing the temperature. So now what happens to the resistance of a semiconductor by increasing the temperature? So hereby when temperature increases, resistance decreases. Okay, when temperature increases, resistance decreases. Why the resistance decreases? We know the formula of resistivity, rho is equal to m n e square tau. Now look here. When we increase the temperature, what happens to the semiconductor? It behaves like conductor. When it behaves like conductor, means number of electrons will increase. Electron density will increase. Because number of electrons will increase, atoms will eject out the electrons. In semiconductor, when temperature increases, it behaves like conductor. Behaves like conductor means number of electrons will increase by increasing the temperature. So number of electrons per unit volume, that is electron density, increases. Okay, this will increase. If this will increase, what happens to resistance will decrease. But at the same time, by increasing the temperature, we have studied that by increasing the temperature, tau will decrease. So tau decreases, it will increase the resistivity, and here this is decreasing the resistivity. Okay, so what n is doing? N is increasing. Number of electrons will increase. That is electron density will increase. Electron density will increase. So if electron density increases, rho will decrease. Okay, but at the same time, one is this, second one is this. So at the same time, when temperature increases, tau will decrease. If tau decreases, second one, that if tau decreases, resistivity will increase. So one is decreasing the resistivity, other one is increasing the resistivity. So whichever is greater, जो भी बड़ा होगा, that effect will be more prominent. So here this number of electrons are very large. There is very large number of electrons are increases. So this effect will be more as compared to tau. So there will be net decrease in the resistivity. This is increasing the resistivity and this is decreasing the resistivity. So net will be decrease in resistivity because this is greater. Number of electrons produced are very large as compared to this decrease. So this increase is very large and this decrease is less as compared to this one. So there will be net decrease in the resistivity. Okay. So N is very large. Number of electrons ejected by the atoms are very large as compared to the decrease in tau. So there will be net decrease in resistance or resistivity. So in semiconductor, what happens when temperature increases, resistance decreases. What is the reason of resistance decreases? Clear it is. This will increase and this will decrease. But this increase is more as compared to this decrease. So this increase is more. So there will be net decrease in rho. Resistivity will decrease. Now in insulator, fifth one is your insulator. Insulator effect is same as the semiconductor. Temperature increases, resistance decreases. Okay, now what is the meaning of superconductor? So superconductor are those material whose resistance is zero. If the resistance of the conductor becomes zero, that is known as superconductor. Superconductors are made at very low temperature so far. So the lower temperature at which a material becomes superconductor is called critical temperature. So materials and critical temperatures are given in the book. And what are its applications? So no resistance means no power loss. So go through the applications given in the book. Now next is thermal coefficient of resistance. So what is thermal coefficient of resistance? Thermal coefficient of resistance, it is denoted by alpha, is defined as the change in resistance. Defined as the change in resistance per unit original resistance per degree rise in temperature. So let R0 we have taken resistance of the conductor at any temperature T degree Celsius, and R is the resistance of the conductor when temperature is increased to T degree. Here temperature we have taken T0, and when temperature is increased to T degree Celsius. You can take the 0 and theta also, but I have taken T0 and T. So increase in resistance is R minus R0 will be directly proportional to the resistance, that is original resistance. and increase in temperature. Okay, this is proportional to the original resistance and increase in temperature. Means R minus R naught increase in resistance is directly proportional. This is proportionality sign. The original resistance R naught and increase in temperature. Delta T means T minus T naught. So when we remove the proportionality sign, we have to put the constant, and this is alpha. And this constant alpha is known as the thermal coefficient of resistance. This is known as constant thermal coefficient of resistance, R naught into delta T. So just take this R naught on the right hand side. We will get R is equal to R naught plus alpha R naught delta T. R naught taken common out. Common, we will get R is equal to R naught 1 plus alpha delta T. So remember this formula. R is equal to new resistance will be equal to, what will be the new resistance? New resistance is equal to the original resistance 1 plus alpha delta T, or we can write this equation it also like this. Alpha temperature coefficient, thermal coefficient of resistance will be equal to change in resistance upon original resistance into increase in temperature. Now what is the unit of alpha? R minus R naught, that is the unit is resistance is ohm. Resistance, unit of resistance here also ohm, and temperature standard unit is Kelvin. So per Kelvin. Unit of alpha is per Kelvin, or we can write it per degree Celsius also. Per Kelvin or per degree Celsius also. Now next is your significance of temperature coefficient of resistance. What is that significance? So if alpha is positive, when alpha will be positive, when R will be greater than R naught, means resistance increases by increasing the temperature. This is for the conductor. This property we have studied for the conductor. Temperature increases, resistance will increase. Means R naught will be less and R will be greater. So alpha will be positive. If alpha is positive for metallic conductor, the resistance of metallic conductor increases with the increase in temperature. So alpha is negative for insulator and semiconductor because its resistance decreases. So new resistance will decrease and original will be more. So alpha is negative for insulator and semiconductor. That is, the resistance decreases with increase in the temperature. Now alpha is very, very small for alloy like magnesium. It is 10 raised to power minus 5. That is, their resistance does not change, or there is negligible change in the resistance with change in temperature. That's why we have studied alloys are used for the standard resistors in the lab. So alpha is very, very small or negligible change in temperature. It is for reason that magnesium and are used, etc., are used for making the standard resistance coils.